Since your dealership has no dock fee, how do you recoup those administrative costs that may not bear out in the selling price of your vehicles?
So we make money selling freaking cars. We don't need a dock fee. We can make money off selling the actual car. A dock fee is the most ridiculous thing in the world. So I'm answering this question saying, okay, how do we recoup our administration fees if we don't charge a dock fee? The thing about it is there's what other business that you're getting into that sells an actual product has all these additional fees attached to the product. It just doesn't exist out there. The car market is so dumb how it acts. I should buy a car and then I should mark it up and I should sell a car, and that spread between where I sell the car retail and where I actually bought the car wholesale, all my expenses that it costs me to run my business should be baked into that price. It should be transparent for the consumer. There shouldn't be a dock fee. There shouldn't be a market adjustment. There shouldn't be nitrogen that you add to the tires of the car that you don't need. There shouldn't be paint protection. There shouldn't be any of this BS that all these dealerships will add to. You should know exactly what you're paying for, how much it's going to cost, and anything that it takes to work into the profit that a dealership, a business, whatever, is going to work into to be able to get their money back from it should be in that price. It should be one price. That's it. You shouldn't have to negotiate 18 different fees when you're going to go buy a product. It doesn't matter what the product is, a car or whatever. If I'm going to sell a car, it's going to be me selling a car, and that money that I make from selling the car is going to be higher than whatever it costs me to run my business. That's how it should be. That's not how it is, and that's how it should be. And that's it. It seems like that to me is just a dumb question and a dumb way of being able to do things in the car market. But the simple fact is, it's a good question because that's how the car market is run, but it shouldn't be.
And I want to add to that. So many other things are just simply the cost of doing business. That's just an employee that's sitting there doing some of that stuff with the paperwork. There's other paperwork that they do. You got to pay for internet. We don't pay for that separately. The dock fee is a way to get to increase your total cost without paying certain commissions for a commission-based company, which we are not, to certain groups of people. It separates out what profits are, so commissions aren't paid, and it also means that you can post the price. The price of the car is a lower number than what it actually is. The one time, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, where a dock fee could make sense is when a manufacturer gives a price that a new car, not a used car, is supposed to be sold for. So they have to go by that guideline. And that is actually where some of the profit comes into play. It's one of the expected areas of profit to be able to cover the actual administrative costs because for a dealer that was only selling new cars. That's the only place where
I don't
that
even
might
like
work.
it there, though.
Oh, I don't like it there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there might be, because the thing is that you've got a price that you have to hold to that you're under rules with the franchise. But on a used car, no one's telling you what to price that car as. So you put in a price at whatever you want it to be. You put in the cost of that car is what it should be. And so that way the price of the car is the price of the car. There's never a time it makes sense on used cars.
And this is one thing too, where the FTC might actually be able to help the space. I have had over the years no faith in the FTC. I've been very vocal about that. And the threats that they put on the car dealers, nothing has ever materialized. But we have recently had a threat from the FTC saying that if you're not advertising the full price of what a customer pays with everything associated to this vehicle purchase, then you can be greatly fined. And they have warned lots and lots of dealership groups about this. And one fee that I was surprised that was actually included in this, because I didn't think it would be, because there could be an argument that this fee is not directly connected to the actual physical car, is the dock fee. But the FTC has laid out that dock fee now has to be in the advertising price. So here's where a lot of car dealers and how the market would work prior to all this is that, okay, a dealer could market a car at $20,000, but when you get to their dealership, they have all these added fees. They might have $1,000 dock fee. They have $1,000 in all their extra products or whatever that they're adding on to it, gap, all this stuff that they want to add to your purchase, and it ends up being a $25,000 car. You're going to pay $25,000 for that vehicle when you go into a dealership, but they're able to advertise that vehicle to get you in the door at $20,000. This is all BS, right? This is not how the market should operate. But now the FTC is calling out these particular fees, and they're including the dock fee. As it's warming up, now it's time to get outside more. And that's why I want to thank our sponsor today, Electric E-Bikes, for making the trail behind my house so much more fun. From the time it shows up, it's basically box to bike in just a few minutes and you're riding. No complicated setup, no headaches. It's comfortable, easy to ride, and honestly just fun, which is probably why people actually end up using these more than standard bikes. This bike tops out at 28 miles per hour, and depending on how you ride it, can get up to 50 miles or more in range. Even if you don't live in a bike-friendly area, it's an easy way to explore, get around, and leave the car behind. Electric's whole thing is being affordably awesome. A lot of their bikes come in at under $1,000 without cutting corners. They're UL certified, come with hydraulic brakes, and Electric was the first e-bike company to offer that combination at this price point. So it's no secret they're the top selling e-bike brand in the US. So if you want to check out their rides, click the link in the description below or scan this QR code on screen. Right now, you can add a bike cover to your order and get it for free using my code CQA at checkout. So now dealerships, whether they're going to do it or not, they're supposed to, by law, actually advertise everything that's associated to the car, even that includes the dock fee. And I've been checking out a lot of dealerships around my area recently since this stuff has come out. They're not all doing it. So I've been debating actually not calling out specific dealerships, because that's not what I'm about and that's not what I'm trying to do, but maybe showing some websites of some other dealerships where I know that there's additional fees that are being tacked on whenever you get to the dealership, and they're not complying with this kind of thing. And I would love for the FTC to come and talk to me and let me start doing some investigative work for them. I would love to do that. That'd be very fun. But I'm not going to just call them out on video. I know a lot of you want me to call out specific dealerships and what they're doing wrong. I'm not here to do that. I will call out things that dealerships do wrong that you can use to find when you're looking for a dealership yourself. But it's not my job to. I'm not a whistleblower. Like I'm not out there trying to just pick out certain dealerships and let's go after them, right? I'm here to say, okay, I know that that a dealership is doing this specific thing. This is one thing you need to look out for and avoid a dealership like that. I feel like that's going to carry more weight than me actually going after specific dealerships. But if the FTC wants to give me a call and have me start doing that, I would. They can send me a paycheck, and I would love to do that. Anyway, I've thought about that, and I've done a lot of research on it around my area, and there's dealerships that are not complying with this, and I hope they get caught. And the way that they get caught is from a customer who actually finds out about this, going and filing a complaint, and then the FTC will go in. Supposedly, that's what they said that they're going to do, and going into looking into this. So hopefully, consumers will actually get involved in this, and they can start policing this, and it will change the car market completely if this is able to take effect. And I've been to like our dealership classes recently that I have to go to, and the instructor, obviously very dealer friendly, doesn't want any of this stuff to happen, and talked about how it would change the industry for negative for dealers, because they'd have to line item and go list all this stuff, and then there'd be tons of extra paperwork on top. I say, yeah, but then the customer will know what they're freaking paying for, right? So, yeah, but the dealer's going to have to go through so much extra work. Well, not if you don't charge the stuff. It's like, okay, well, Brandon, whenever you put your dock fee on the car, you're going to have to at that point explain exactly what your dock fee entails and what that dock fee is covering. Do you want to deal with that? I said, sure, I want to deal with that, because my dock fee is $0. So I'm not going to have to say any of that stuff. The price that I put on my car is the price that the customer freaking pays for the car. This is how the industry should work. And for the good dealers, this is a great change, because there's no bait and switch that the good dealers are doing. And now they can become more competitive with these dealers that are trying to scam people and list a car for $20,000. But when you get to the dealership, it's $25,000. Now that dealership has to advertise that car for $25,000. And the other dealer, that's a good dealer, that is trying to sell a car for $23,000. That's the same car, but they don't have any of that extra add-ons or whatever. Now they are very competitive online in the marketplace because they are doing the right thing and they're not trying to gouge their customers. They're not trying to add on all these extra fees. And now they can be the cheapest one online and be doing the right thing all at the same time. That's what I hope the FTC is able to achieve with all of this. We're not there yet. It's going to depend on the carry through and how the FTC is able to actually govern this, and their threats are going to actually have some substance behind them. I used to have zero faith in the FTC. Now I have like 10% of my faith in the FTC. So hopefully they can make that grow. I'm still not expecting any big changes to happen, but I'm praying for it. That's what I want to happen.
Do other dealers make fun of you when you walk into the auctions because you're such a YouTube star?
I am sure that absolutely happens.
Not at home. This is at the auctions.
Shut up. So since I've been on YouTube, since I've been this creator in the car market space, obviously a lot of the dealers that are at these auctions, they know who I am, they know what I do, and I'm sure there's a large majority of these dealers that think I'm an absolute idiot. There might be lots of you watching right now that are car dealers and think everything that I say is wrong, and the way that you perceive the market and the experience, your personal experiences that you have in the market contradict everything that I say that I am experiencing, that I'm doing in the market. And you look at these titles and thumbnails and be like, okay, well, if the market's as bad as Brandon's titles and thumbnails are, then I should have already been homeless by now. And I get it. I get the title and thumbnail thing. Obviously, it's a marketing thing with YouTube. We have to do what we have to do to have people actually click on it. Beside the point. All these dealers that are at the auction, I think there's probably, of the ones that watch me, a 50-50 split of the ones that really, really like what I do and the ones that think I'm just absolutely ridiculous and hate me. And it's interesting because I don't really hear from the ones that don't like me because they're not going to approach me. I had one guy at an auction one time that came up to me and said, look, I've got a family member who is a massive fan of yours, and they just want me to get a picture of you to say, will you please do that? I think you're full of, and he used a bad word, I think you're full of crap, but they like you. So I told him I would. So I said, well, I appreciate you being honest with me. I know I'm not for everybody, and I'm not trying to get you to agree with everything that I say. I don't care. You don't have to like me. But I appreciate you coming up to me and telling me that you don't like me, because usually it's a weird scenario of some fan coming up to me and saying some weird and acting like I'm not even a human being. So it was refreshing. Refreshing. I'm trying to say that word. It was refreshing to have someone come up to me and say, I don't agree with the things that you're saying, and this is the thing that I don't like. 100% valid. I love it. That was a fantastic experience. But the flip side of that, I think the other 50% that do watch me, when they come up to me, it's always weird for me because I'm just a regular dude. Shake my hand. Let's talk about what's going on in the car market. But it's rarely like that. It feels very weird. And I've been doing this now for 3.5, almost 4 years, and it's never been normalized. It's always an uncomfortable thing. I remember there was one person that was on YouTube that I watched a lot that I went up to one time, and I know that they would have had the same experience. And I said, man, I just want to walk up to you. I want to shake your hand. And that's the weirdest thing. And I get that question or that comment a lot when somebody comes up and say, man, I watch all your stuff. I just want to shake your hand. Like, that's a weird interaction to have with another human being. I just want you to know that I look at you a lot and I want to touch you. That's exactly what they're saying, right? So, but I did the same thing to this other guy. He was a disc golfer, and one thing that stuck with me from what he did was always trying to have a conversation back with me, because I was out at a disc golf course. He was like, "Yeah, what are you having you around now? What's your name? It's nice to meet you. I appreciate you watching the stuff." But he was trying to have a real conversation with me, and I was just going up to him, asking him if I could touch him. So if you are one of those people that want to just come up and touch me, let's let's try to have a conversation first, and just don't come up to me and ask to shake my hand and then leave real quick, because if it's weird for you, it's 10 times as weird for me. I promise you. But I think I got off track with that. Um, I'm not sure what the question was. I do think there are dealers that hate me. Yes, yes, and
Yeah, do they make fun of you is the
do
question.
they make fun of me? Absolutely. I mean, the ones that like me make fun of me. So
It happens at home too.
the answer is yes, and my wife makes fun of me too. So,
Yep.
Answer is yes. Yes, I get made fun of.
What is the highest priced car you've seen roll through your auctions?
That's difficult. Like, I've seen some $100,000 vehicles come through. I've like one of the bigger auctions that I go to, they'll have some Lambos that go through. One that I've particularly watched though, like that stuff doesn't excite me. So I don't even go to those lanes and watch. But there's like McLarens. There'll be some of the new like EV Hummers. I've seen a Cybertruck or two roll through when they were really hot. Definitely some Lambos. I think I've seen one Ferrari. So I mean, that kind of stuff is going to bring a lot of it over $100,000. So I'd say probably right in that range. There's nothing that has stuck with me that, like, I've never seen a Bugatti run through that's going to be like $700,000-800,000 vehicle. I think I would have remembered that, but just probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 120 grand is probably the highest thing that I've ever seen go through auction, and it was probably a Lamborghini.
Usually Brandon's not in that lane.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
He's in a different lane.
Yeah, it might surprise you. It might surprise you, but I'm actually not a car guy. I don't really care. Like stuff like this, like I like this old stuff. That's cool that you can actually work on, and I can appreciate where the industry has come from with the older stuff like this, and how I built my business. I like that kind of stuff. But like muscle cars that are really expensive, or these European cars that have great lines and really fast. Like, I mean, that's cool, but it doesn't excite me. What excites me is seeing like a 2006 Toyota Camry with 200,000 miles that I know I can make $1,000 on. That excites me. Like I'll walk around that car 10 times and then I'll walk right past the Lamborghini. But I mean, I can appreciate that stuff, but I'm really not a car guy. I'm a business guy. That's what I like.